is the island of Aegina.
And then be like, ha, gotcha now.
This is so beautiful. I'm up to living here. Hi, baby. Oh, hi, sweetie. Hi. Sea cucumber. So this is the view from our table.
They have a cheese omelet.
Got that bread.
Wait, for those who
Ah, you got to take the first.
Legit
I
fish.
ate this all the time.
You got it, you got it. Oh. The water is so clear here. I've never seen anything like it. The goddess of fire was only worshipped on this island. And all it took to get here was a ferry and a metro.
Ready. Come back.
Greece is even more beautiful than I thought it was going to be before I came here. In fact, I'd love to come back again at some point in my life because I've enjoyed this trip so much. Just wow. So the goddess of fire was thought to be related to Artemis or Athena and was a goddess of fertility and agriculture. Athena was only worshipped on this island, and I think that's pretty amazing. This is the only place and her only temple. Said it was locally made. Wow. Is this even real life? Can you even believe this?
a lot better than like
Come on. Please, bot. Please, bot, please. Come help. Eat. Oh. What is that smell? Help.
And alas, we are leaving the island to go home to Athens.
And 15 meters worth of rope.
So you keep 5 gold. Okay.
We are on our way to Keramikos, and I think my fair skin and fair eyes were not made for this kind of sun. Look at that view. Everywhere we go in this city, there's a beautiful view.
So these are dust.
These are dead.
Yeah.
So dead.
Might not even be bones anymore, kind of dead. I mean, if I had to be buried somewhere, I wouldn't particularly mind being buried here. The amount of history here is crazy considering how young America is. Yeah, the graveyard is 2,000 years older than the USA. What even? Boars running around. He thinks that maybe the myths were true and boars were running around.
What if the myths were like actually
Do you think
statues?
sphinxes were also?
Sure.
I mean, they've been like.
Why not?
A
Maybe.
lot of times myths have seeds of truth in them. They're oral
Right.
history.
Nowadays, you just say, oh, it's a bunch of bones.
Plus like coming from someone who.
We finally found an olive tree with actual olives in Greece. Shame I don't actually like olives. Right there is the Parthenon and the Acropolis. You can see all of this from this cemetery. This is the ancient Agora. This is from the mid-2nd century AD. So this used to be the temple of Athens. The altar of Ares. Of these places I've been visiting because, you know, it's so far past our memory, even our collective memory as humanity, that it's almost hard to even envision it, but it's kind of blowing my mind. I mean, look. What in the world? This is insane. I know I keep saying that, but it really is. I have no other words to describe it. The roof is somewhat intact on this one. It's the first one we've seen kind of preserved in this way. I have to say, I do really like the weather here in February. I don't think that I would survive in the summer. If you sunburn because you're a pale ghost like me, or if you just don't really like the heat, I don't know if I'd recommend coming in the summer. I really like, actually, the experience of being here in the winter because it's not that crowded. I mean, it's the off season, so there aren't too many tourists and a lot of things are cheaper. Plus, like, the weather is still nice. It's in the 60s, it's warm, it's sunny, so it's comfortable, but it's not too hot and it's not too crowded either. The amount of stray cats kind of makes me sad. It's sweet because, I mean, I love cats, but I wish I could just save them all and bring them home with me. Obviously, I can't do that. They do, most of them, at least, seem to be pretty plump and fed. We've seen some people just feeding them and they come if you sit outside and beg for scraps at your table, which some people might hate. I think is really sweet, and I definitely helped feed them because I'm a sucker. It's a little heartbreaking, but it could be worse, I suppose. Obviously, I know some people are worried about crime in Greece. It kind of has a stereotype of being worse for pickpocketing and stuff like that than other countries, although all cities are gonna have that problem. I haven't had any particular issues with it yet, but I am also traveling with 3 other people in a group at all times. I'm very vigilant, and I just think that, you know, for lone travelers, especially women, it might be more of an issue. But again, it's also the off season, so I think there's probably a little bit less of that than there is in the summer. There's also a lot of panhandling if you know, that's something that you are concerned with. Oh, he flopped right next to me. He's not dead. He's sunbathing.
Take a bowl.
And now we're headed to lunch.
She wants inside.
Yeah. So this is the Roman Agora.
Aristotle would have been here. Probably, right?
He does blend in.